We are 12 minutes away from a new state champion here at the Division II level. It's Parkway West on top of Priory 8-7. Joe Pott, Nick Silva with you from the soccer park. We have had a fantastic game, and certainly after these two teams settled in, it has been a back-and-forth ball game to say the least, and it's West that comes out after Ringling wins another face-off for the Longhorns. And behind the goal it goes for Bernstein. Bernstein had 3 in the first half, did not have a goal in that third quarter. We saw a lot of goals in that third quarter, but Bernstein did not get one for Parkway West. The Longhorns with it. They lead it by a goal, looking for their first state championship. It would also be the first state championship for Priory if the Rebels can find a way to win it. Karen Brock behind the goal. Agnew defending for Priory.
You know what Coach Sterling's doing with their midfielders for Parkway West? They are inverting Karen Brock behind the goal there. He went and took Agnew back there. Now he's trying to run him up top here at the midfield. Maybe they're looking to tire out Agnew, force him to expend energy on defense so he won't be able to create on offense for the Rebels at the other end.
And right now, Parkway West is content to move the ball around.
So one of the things you just saw the referees do, they stick one arm out, one arm up. That means that the offensive team has got to keep the ball inside the offensive box. You'll see the yellow lines going down from the top of the restraining line down to the end line. And now Parkway West has to keep the ball in. If they step out of the box or they pass the ball outside of that offensive box, it'll be a turnover and Priory will go the other way.
And it's a way to move the offense along, basically, is it not?
Yeah, in the absence of a shot clock,
right.
That is the rule that we have in high school lacrosse. Now at the college level, when they lock the team in, they stick those arms up, there's a 30-second shot clock at the NCAA level.
So no shot clock, but Parkway West must keep it in the attack box there. 10:20 to play here in the fourth. It's 8-7. West on top. John Rowe with it for the Longhorns.
And one thing that the Longhorns need to think about, when you get called that keep it in, you want to settle the ball up or initiate from behind the goal. You turn the ball over at the top of your box, that could be a fast break going the other way. And you can see there's a lot of space back there for the offensive players to operate behind the goal.
Sellers with it on the far side for the Longhorns. Right back for Rowe again. No, this is Bernstein, rather. Bernstein out in front. Turns, shoots, and scores. It's the fourth of the day for Kyle Bernstein.
You know, great attackmen are not afraid to get their nose dirty, and that means going and finishing the ball in the paint or in the heart right in front of the crease right there. Bernstein did his great job, as we're going to see on the replay, attacking from behind the goal. He face dodges in between that help on defense, turns and finishes away from Besancene's stick to the far post. Great play by Bernstein, but in my opinion, the greatest play he's made, again going back, was that double penalty that he drew. Really got Parkway West awake in the second half here, and they've really dictated the pace of play since then. 9-7 Parkway West.
The senior attackman has carried the Longhorns here this afternoon, along with his counterpart, the junior Mitty Ringling, who has been the face-off guy at the center for Parkway West. Those two have been huge today for the Longhorns. And they're up 2 with inside of 10 to play here in the fourth quarter. It's Bernstein again out front and the shot, but we've got a whistle. We're waiting to see what the call is there, and now we've got a flag.
I think it was going to be too many men on the field by Priory. Now, the thing that Coach Sterling's not going to be happy with, that should have been a play on since Parkway West had the ball. And they passed the ball in. That was a great opportunity for a shot, a little bit of an inadvertent whistle. So I know the officials are going to get together and get that sorted out. Coming out of the restart, there's going to be a power play, extra man offense for the Parkway West Longhorns. So if they can get a chance to extend their lead to 10-7 here, this is going to be a big potential turning point in the game.
9-7 in favor of the Longhorns with 9:20 to play here in the fourth.
Penalty, number 46.
And you can hear it there now that they do whistle a penalty. It's an illegal substitution.
We're going to see Parkway West likes to run a little three-man motion here on the wing and then throw a skip pass to Ringling like we just saw.
There's Ringling, and he couldn't keep the handle on that one. And still loose, and it is the Longhorns who come up with the ground ball. Karen Brock ahead, and the goal! It's Cameron Sellers. Karenbrock sets it up again for the Longhorns, and West has a 3-goal lead with 9:05 to play.
I think one of the things that's really stood out in this game have been the inside quick finishes, or the quick sticks, as we're going to see here. Broken play, the pass is in, Parkway West receives it. It is out of the stick before the goalie has time to react or the defense can recover and get back. So I think Parkway West scoring that goal, the officials get let off the hook with a little bit of that confusing penalty that they just called, and Parkway West extends it to 10-7. And don't forget, Priory was winning 7-5 a couple minutes into the third quarter, and since that time, Parkway West has gone on a 5-0 run, and Priory hasn't really had an answer. Ringling keeps winning faceoffs.
Ringling has been a huge part of this West attack today, keeping possession for the Longhorns. This time it is Priory that comes away with it, and Corey Dubray, the senior. Now the ball, the ground ball, picked up by West, and back the other way comes John Rowe. Matt Hall now on the far side for the Longhorns. Hall works in on goal. It's loose in front. Bernstein will scoop. Bernstein couldn't keep his stick on it. 8:39 to play here in the fourth. Priory with it again. Coming out of the back this time is Andrew Mozzie. They'll play it out from behind the goal. This is Jim Carey. Carey plays it ahead. And it's Agnew, and he'll fire ahead. Really in on goal, but it's picked up there by Ransom.
See, now that was a
Almost,
shot right.
anyway.
That was a shot right there by Agnew. Parkway West went into what they call a 10-man ride, so their goalie stepped out of the goal and went to cover one of the attackmen on Priory. So Agnew recognized that. We'd like to see him get a little bit more mustard on that shot, though.
8:13 to play. In the fourth, it is Parkway West on top. And as Nick mentioned, it is a 5-0 run from the Longhorns, which answered a 3-0 run from Priory to start this second half.
Priory did a great job right there to push the Parkway West Longhorn out of bounds. This is a really important possession on offense here for Priory. We have got to see George Paletta find the ball and go out there and really be Priory's best player. His teammates are looking towards him, and he's going to need to find the ball and make a play for the Rebels.
On that far side, it's Jack Gruey, the senior attackman. Gruey with it for the Rebels. Out front it goes. Paletta is straight away just outside the box, by the way. And on that far side, along with Gruey, it's Chalfant.
And see, Priory really needs to initiate. They need to, either dodge the gaps in the zone or carry the ball and throw back, pop out of the crease. Parkway West is going to be very content to allow them just to pass the ball around and then smash down on the center of the defense, as we're seeing.
Paletta with the ground ball right outside the attack box, and he'll work it back in. Near side for Ritchie and right back to Paletta. 7:09 to play. This is Agnew. Ritchie again. Paletta straight away. You can see this cleared up here at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park. Sun is out. Far side, Gruey. And the shot and the goal. It was Paletta. It's his third of the game, and he's trimmed it to a 2-goal lead for West.
I think that the most success that we've seen the Priory offense have against that Parkway West zone is that feed from the left wing from Grew. We've seen it a couple times with Paletta being the cutter, catching the ball, and shooting righty, and we've seen Agnew too. We're going to see here on the replay. Against that zone, Gruey from the left wing feeds Paletta on the cut. Quick catch, quick shot, right? And he beats Ransom high again. Ransom needs to keep his hands up when he's turning from the wing to face that cutter coming down, because a couple of those goals the Rebels have gotten past him have been high to high there.
Third goal of the day for the senior attackman.
We had a procedure call there on the face-off going against Ringling, so now it's going to be Priory ball.
And that's tough because the face-offs have been so big for both these two, and it's made such a difference as far as the momentum and the direction that the game has gone.
I think what we're going to see here, you're going to see the ball in Grew's stick, Paletta's stick, and Agnew's stick.
.6:15 left. Agnew couldn't come up with that one, couldn't keep the ground ball, and now Parkway West coming out of the back. This is John Rowe. And Rowe was content to come back to Ransom, and they'll start it from the back.
This is a big clear here for Parkway West, clearing from defense to offense.
Inside of 6 minutes to play. Parkway West by a couple. This is Lindmark. Lindmark for Parkway West.
Great play by the big boy on the clear there, handling the pressure at the midfield line, getting it down to his attackman. That's a great clear by Parkway West.
I said Lindmark. That was O'Connor for Parkway West. 10-8. Longhorns on top. 5:35 left. It's Russell now out front for Karen Brock.
We'll have to see if the officials are going to ask Parkway West to keep the ball in the box again, because with a 2-goal lead, 5 minutes left in the state championship, Priory hasn't really pressed out too much so far in this game. And when they have, Parkway West guys have been able to handle that pressure and run by it.
Is it a judgment call strictly on the officials' part?
It is, and I think a really tough call there on Bernstein. He didn't have the greatest field awareness right there, and his heels touched on the line out of bounds on the yellow line there. So now it's Priory's chance to clear it.
So a turnover for Parkway West, and Priory with it. Working back this way on the near side. And the ball is loose and picked up by Parkway West. This is O'Connor again, and that's lost again. And now it's Paletta who scoops behind the goal, and you can see Paletta kind of calling out his troops and controlling the offense there. Agnew with it on the near side for Priory. And a whistle and a timeout taken by the Priory Rebels with 4:35 to play, and Parkway West with a 2-goal lead.
I think that's a great timeout right there by Priory. One thing that I think they're going to be talking about in that offensive huddle is they got to move their feet a little bit more on offense. Priory just wants to kind of, stand still, and they're moving the ball around. And when you're playing a zone defense like Parkway West is, that help. You're doing the zone a favor. You're not really making them work hard on defense to try to win the ball back. Coming out of this timeout, we're going to see what Priory dries up, and they have to start initiating here. They're down by 2 goals, 4:35 left, fourth quarter, state championship game. The big-time players are going to need to step up, and the number 1 and the number 2 seeds. I think that what you end up seeing is, teams of that caliber, their best players are their best players. We've definitely seen that today. Bernstein, Paletta, Agnew. So that's what we've seen there, as we see the bracket there for the Division II at the MSLA level.
We are 4.5 minutes away from crowning a new state champion here at the Division II level, and one of these two teams will win its first state championship. Priory in its 5th year as a program now, only 4 of those at the high school level, as a matter of fact. Tony Finan actually took control of this team and has been running it since these were 8th graders. And now they're working their way up, and they're in their 4th year, for those of them that are seniors, that is, of course. But certainly a chance to bring that first championship home, but they've got to come back now.
I think it's the growth of the sport. Priory is a great example of what newer schools picking up, a boys lacrosse program can do. Not the largest enrollment. They haven't been around for as long as Parkway West, who's had a lacrosse team since 1995. This is just the 5th year for Priory.
But one of them will have their first state championship. Paletta shoots and scores! George Paletta, his 4th of the day. Priory is within a goal.
Out of the timeout, it looks like Parkway West went to a man-to-man, and you saw the long stick midi for Parkway West. Jake Holdreath could not stay with Paletta. Paletta went to his right hand like his strong dominant hand down that right alley, and a big shot to that far post really stings the corner there by Paletta. A big-time play by a big-time player in the 4th quarter of the state title game, 10-9 Parkway West.
And you wonder why West would go back to a man-to-man. They've had so much luck with that zone defense today, and really it certainly kind of threw a wrench into Priory's plans to start the game. Now Priory's got it back, and the Rebels now, it's taken away. Great steal there by John Rowe, and it's Rowe working back this way for Parkway West.
Looks like we had a flag down on the far side. The referee called the flag, so now when that flag's down, they have that keep it in call. We see Bernstein coming from behind. Bernstein
turns, shoots, and scores! Kyle Bernstein has scored his 5th of the day. Parkway West back up by 2. It's 11-9 as the senior Bernstein strikes again.
Anything Paletta can do, Bernstein thinks he can do as well, if not better. big players step up in big-time games, and that's what Bernstein did. Ran by his defender underneath. Defense collapsed. Did not really play the body, and he still ran through the defense. Bounce shot away from Besancene, and Parkway West has that 2-goal lead again.
The Longhorns trying to pull off the upset. Mild as it may be, it would be an upset as the number 2 seed as they lead number 1 Priory 11-9. Face-off upcoming here. Ringling's been so good at the face-offs.
Every face-off now is going to be huge. See who comes up with possession here.
And they've got Agnew off on the side, serving a penalty of some sort.
Yeah, so that flag was down. He still had to serve the penalty even though the goal was scored. So now Parkway West is on the power play, man up.
Ringling shoots and it's bounced away. So that is something that I didn't expect or I didn't realize that on that delayed call that penalty will still stand even though West has scored that goal. So that's a huge play now. Could potentially be a huge play. Of course, more information is available at Missouri Scholastic Lacrosse Association.com. That is the MSLAA, the governing board of the high school lacrosse that you're seeing here. Folks might not realize it's not a MISHA sport, not a Missouri State High School Association. It's the Missouri Scholastic Lacrosse Association.
We'll see what Parkway West does with this extra man power play man up opportunity here. If they're going to try and put the dagger into Priory, if they're just content to pass the ball around and wind the clock a little bit more.
Hall behind the cage, back out in front. This is Russell. Has one today for Parkway West. Inside of 3 minutes to play, it's the Longhorns by a couple. Bernstein now. He has shouldered the load for the Longhorns today. He has 5. On the near side, it's Karen Brock.
And now we're back to all even. That penalty released on Priory, so now there's no more man up for Parkway West.
Karen Brock has been a playmaker today for the Longhorns, and here he is, loose out front. He'll shoot and score! Karen Brock gets one himself, and Parkway West is back up 3 with 2:30 to play.
Big play there by Karen Brock. Shook his defenseman to the middle of the field, and you can see the Priory defense with their heads down. It's going to be tough for them to come back from that. We'll see on the replay here. Karen Brock beats his defender to the center and then has his hands free and really just rips the ball high to high. It looks like Besancene may have gotten a piece there. Ends up going across the goal line. Parkway West ahead 12-9, and it looks like maybe these Longhorn fans in their sideline might be tasting, or they can start to taste the first state championship in program history.
Karen Brock, who has set up a ton today, and he's got his first goal after ripping that one under the bar. 2:30 to play. Face-off won by Ringling again for Parkway West.
So one thing to keep an eye on is Parkway West, if they're able to get the ball over the midline. Since they're winning with under 2 minutes left in the game, they're going to have to keep the ball inside the offensive box.
We've got bodies all over the place. No whistle, no flag. This one will roll out. It'll be Parkway West ball coming in on the far side. 2:12 to play. 12-9, Parkway West on top.
So we can see some of the physical play here. The ball's on the ground. Number 3 kind of has his gets caught with his head down. It looks like a good, clean shoulder to chest hit. When the ball's on the ground and you're within 5 yards of it, as long as you hit him from the front, you're fair game.
West with possession. It's Hall coming in on goal. He'll work back behind the goal for the Longhorns. Matt Hall working to this near side, guarded closely by Harry Flotron, and they do have the keep it in. We have a broken stick down there. Flotron lost his basket there. 1:51 to play. Parkway West trying to win its first state title. Bernstein has scored 5 today for the Longhorns. We're inside of 2 minutes.
And you saw Bernstein stepped out of the box there, so it's going to be Priory ball. A smarter play would have been just to settle the ball up along the end line behind the goal and kind of wind some more of that 2-minute clock. Now Priory's got a lifeline.
Priory needs to score a couple in a hurry here. They trail 12-9 as they work it ahead, and the ground ball picked up by Parkway West. It's Hassan Beg, and it's loose again. Now it's scooped again. This time it's Sellers with 1:20 to play. Sellers for the Longhorns. Works it inside the box, and Parkway West will have to keep it in. 1:13 to play, but it's the Longhorns on top. 12-9 with 1:10 left. Back up top. Into the middle it goes. This is Beg. Hassan Beg for the Longhorns. We're inside of a minute. A shot off the ground, taken there by Ben Sansone. And the long pass is intercepted.
Offside there on Parkway West, so Priory's going to get a restart with 49 seconds left at the midline. We're going to see either Agnew's going to inbound it here for Priory. They really got to push it. Not much time left.
The quick step there by Ritchie for Parkway West. Gives it back to Priory. This is Paletta. 46 seconds to play. Paletta to Agnew. Agnew, the quick shot. The stop made by Ransom, and it's loose. For the end line it goes, and it'll be picked up there by Gruey, and it's out of play. So it'll be restarted behind the goal. 30 seconds left. It is West on top of Priory. Right now, the Rebels with the ball. Now it's loose. Parkway West trying to come away with it, and they've got it scooped up there by O'Connor. Ransom now, the goalie for Parkway West. Long pass ahead. Ritchie had it taken away by Agnew, who somehow kept it in bounds, but he plays it right in for Karen Brock. Ahead for Hall, inside at 10. Hall shoots, scores! The icing on the cake as Matt Hall makes it 13-9, and Parkway West is going to win its first state championship. 4 seconds to play here in the final quarter.
Kind of a broken play here as Parkway West ices the game. Hall catches it as a one-on-one breakaway. But Sansone doesn't have much of a chance, and Parkway West is going to win their first state championship in school history in the sport of lacrosse.
Tough if you are the Priory Rebels, the #1 seed, and you can see it there in Ben Sansone, the talented sophomore goalie for the Priory Rebels. As exciting as it is for Parkway West, it is heartbreaking for Priory. Ringling wins another, and the time has run out, and Parkway West has won it. The Longhorns flood the field as Division II state champions in 2015.
Missouri Scholastic Lacrosse Association Division II state champion.
Congratulations to head coach Pete Sterling and the Parkway West Longhorns, state champions in 2015. Certainly our congrats to Tony Finan. The Priory Rebels, one heck of a job, a great season which finishes at 15-2. It's Parkway West that goes to 13-2, and it's lucky number 13. Their 13th win is the state title win for the Longhorns.